Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD and I'm coming at you guys with the next game of Tan versus Symbol here. And I figured I can't really just cast one game out of the series, you gotta actually finish the series off. So this is game number 2 between Tan and Symbol from IPL 3 Online Qualifier number 1. We had 4 online qualifiers at IPL. For all of you guys who might not know what the logistics are or what the rules were. 4 online qualifiers, so we invited 8 players already to Atlantic City, Idra, Whiterun, Select, Thorzane, a bunch of other players I can't think of. I think Boxer as well, and a bunch of other good players, Koreans as well, included as well. So yeah, we invited 8 players and we qualified 8 through 4 online tournaments, and basically this is one of the games from the first qualifier, the first online qualifier tournament. So yeah, this is the follow-up actually of Tan versus Symbol. The first game, which was extremely intense. We had a little bit of a controversy in that game. My hat's off right here, guys, to Tan really for leaving that game valiantly and not, you know, not taking the win when he could have taken the win. Arguably he could have, and you know, the judges probably at the end of the day would have swung it back in favor of TSL Symbol. So, you know, Tan just being the bigger man there and saying, you know what, I'm not gonna steal this win from you, and that's very, you know, that's very valiant of him to do, especially when this is for an online tournament qualifier where you can potentially win $100,000. That is a prize pool for Atlantic City, guys. That's huge, you know, to take a loss like that, and it costs 20 bucks to actually participate in this qualifier. So it isn't cheap, man. Essentially, he just kind of threw 20 bucks potentially down the drain. So, you know, my hat's off to him. Big respect right here to Dignitas Tan. It's a little funny, actually. You guys all know Dopa. I'm big friends with Dopa. He's a Protoss player. He was playing in the Gamecom Plantronics tournament, and something actually really interesting happened. He missed his scheduled match by like 2 minutes, and apparently his opponent decided not to, you know, play the game out. He just wanted to take the free win, which, I mean, yeah, logistically you can do that, but that's so BM, that's so not sportsmanlike, and, you know, do you really deserve it at the end of the day? So the refs eventually decided to hand it back over to Dopa and force him to play the match. So I'm really happy about that, but it just kind of shows that a lot of people out here, I guess in the North American region, maybe the Euro region as well, I don't know, the sportsmanship certainly could use a little bit of work. We could certainly take a few pages out of the Korean textbook, which is actually kind of funny because on the Korean server all you see is cheese, 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 but they'll GG to the cheeses. Here, if you cheese, it's like, oh my god, no. Take an Idra mindset and just say F you and leave the game, which is exactly what happened between Idra and Namsir, now that I think about it. Yeah, this should be a good game. This is game 2, ZVZ, of course. I will hopefully be casting some more mirror matchups. One thing I want to do really badly is PvP. I haven't casted a good PvP in a while, so I'll look for one. And as I said before, I want to cast that Idra versus, not Idra versus Namsir, but I want to cast another Namsir game if I can get my hands on some. But yeah, let's take a look at this one right here. What do we got going on here? TSL Symbol has a hatch down. It looks like he's going to go with the Baneling Nest once again. So no doubt we're going to see some early Baneling aggression. And Dignitas Tan, does he have a Baneling Nest? No, he doesn't. So he's just got speed on the way for his speedlings. And his speed will be probably done around the same time, actually. Yeah, so he's just not going to have Banelings, which could end up putting him in a deficit depending how good his micro is. Tan going to get a couple of his Zerglings surrounded here. That's not a good... You know, that's not good at all, losing your initial lings. And Tan's gonna have to cycle a couple of units out if he wants to defend here. He's actually working down that Overlord by sending his own Overlord to the back to spot for the Queen. So he pops that off, but the real threat here are these, you know, 6 or so Banelings that are about to make the way into his base. And wow, Symbol making a lot of Banelings. A lot of times in ZVZ you only make 1 or 2. You don't really need to make that many because you still need units to fight with. We'll just have to see how this goes. Oh, that was pretty cost effective. 3 lings for 1 Baneling, not bad at all. And Symbol here gonna go right into the main. Oh my god, he's just gonna surround the Queen, no problemo. And oh, that's never a good sight when 4 Banelings are in your mineral line just like that. Oh, whoa. Acid barbecue, another Baneling exploding there or something. I don't even know what that was. 9 drones have gone down and that number continues to skyrocket. The drones here are getting pummeled by the lings, all of them in the deep red. And are they gonna survive or are more gonna go down? It's currently at 11 workers killed. And it looks like at the last second Tan stabilizes at his natural, but wow, that was a pretty big blow to Tan's economy. He is now down by 4 harvesters. And, I mean, it's not that much, but it's still pretty detrimental to him. He's going to go for the counterattack of Lings here, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to be able to do any damage. He just doesn't have enough Lings to do it with. And, of course, there's Banelings being morphed in the background here. The Banelings are about to pop out. That could be devastating to Tan if he doesn't pull out at the very last second. Oh, my God! Great micro right there by Tan. Very good awareness. And you have to remember, guys, these players are not only microing their units on the field, but they're also going back home to macro units as well. So to be able to realize that the Banelings were going to pop out around that time, super high awareness. And Tan here, very good, pulling his Lings away when the Banelings are arriving. He needs to actually train a Ling on one of those Banelings. That's what good ZVZ players will always do. Send one Ling into a Baneling, detonate it, and be safe. But oh man, I love how Symbol here is leaving a couple Banelings at home and attacking with a couple Banelings. So this is going to really split Tan's multitasking. Is Symbol prepared to work on two fronts at once? We'll just have to wait and see. There are a couple of roaches and a spine crawler here, so maybe that's going to be enough for the static defense. And right now he's trying to train on the Baneling. He does end up training on one of the Banelings, doesn't get the second one, and he's trying to micro as best he can right now, but he's just getting overwhelmed by Symbol. And this perhaps is where the better economy of Symbol is starting to kick in. That 4 Harvester advantage has kind of been drawn down a little bit. It was a lot more before, but at the end of the day, that Harvester advantage really helps. And you guys can see now that translates into more Zerglings for Symbol, and Tan just doesn't have that many forces on the field. You know, it almost looks like he's gonna try to play a macro game here, sit back and just chill on all these roaches and try to re-drone up and stuff, but he's got to be a little careful, because certainly if Symbol wanted to, he could attack with a lot of Lings. Keep in mind, guys, Tan still doesn't have a Baneling nest. So if all those Lings decide to run through the front door, there could be a lot of carnage that starts to occur. And Tan's got to be careful about that. Very risky play, not going for a Baneling nest at all in today's ZVZ. And oh my god, he's actually going to push out here. Now keep in mind that Overlord does see the roaches and Lings pushing out right now. So all of these Lings over here could potentially run by and do so much damage, but it looks like rather than that, Symbol is going to try to play defensively here. And he's going to make a bunch of Banelings. Almost overkill in Banelings here. That might be a little bit too much. But he should be just fine in defending. I don't know if Tan's actually going to commit here. He's actually going to start walking back. And that's risky. That's the thing about roach play. If you move out and then you decide to rock back, without roach speed, they can be caught in the middle of the field by all these speedlings. And that's exactly what Symbol's going to do here. And oh my god, if Tan loses all these roaches, he's going to be in a horrible spot. No Baneling support, as you guys all know. And that means these roaches are just going to be ripped apart by the Lings. And Tan's just going to call the quick GG. So there it is. Just a little bit of decision making, I think, that kind of cost Tan. And of course, Symbol's a great Baneling detonation on the main here. You guys saw like 9 or so workers go down. At the end of the day, it was a total of 11. Certainly helped out Symbol's cause. So great play by Symbol, and he does take this series 2-0. A lot of that, of course, springing from the first game, a lot of momentum that could have swung the other way if Tan had decided to just take that win, but he didn't. He valiantly stepped out, and he did get 0-2'd by TSL Symbol. So thank you guys all for tuning in. We're gonna have more games coming up here in a moment, so make sure you guys continue to stay tuned. This is HD, signing out.